And before that, here on BBC Radio 4, the pop poet and stage doorkeeper Julian Fox begins a somewhat alternative guide to architecture, sharing his concrete poetry.
Over the last couple of years or so, I've been getting into buying architecture books. I've got quite a collection now. I just love looking at all the pictures, but I've never really read them properly. I had hoped this series would give me that excuse, but I don't know. I'm still on 20th century architecture. I'm up to page 24. The last series I made was all about travel. I think it was quite difficult fitting it in around my job at the Barbican. But with this series being about buildings, well, they're everywhere. I thought they would help solve the problem. I guess being on the radio didn't radically change my life. I mean, I had to remain realistic and accept that it might not bring me recognition. Actually, I had to get recognised on the bus to Brixton. That was by someone I knew. I don't know what I expected. Maybe that someone like Madonna would have heard it. Maybe she did, but didn't get in touch. But I'm still working at the stage door and living in the same place. Haven't bought a loft in New York or anything. Actually, I did buy an Eames rocking chair. A new one in red. That was my special present to myself. I got into a right state about what colour to choose. I remember, after I'd ordered the red one, I got home and saw the lime walls in my bedroom. I thought I'd made a big mistake. That I should have gone for white. I went back the next day to tell them that I changed my mind, but then saw the red one again and, or in the shop, it just looked so lovely. If I was an architect, what would I build? I don't know. Maybe a house for myself, one for my parents, my brother too. It would be made of concrete, steel and glass, with a flat roof, no chimney pot. My family, they'd all love me, we'd be happy ever after. If I was an architect, what would I look like? What would I wear? Would like to be quite handsome and 6'2", wearing dark glasses and a Paul Smith suit. I'd eat in the best restaurants every night, continue drinking to the morning light. The girls all love me, the boys all love me, and I'd be happy. I don't know if there's any architect around here that I really admire. Lido, maybe. That's a Grade 2 listed building. It was opened in 1937. I don't know when this house was built. I think it's Victorian. I know my landlord bought it about 15 years ago from a husband and wife who were getting divorced, and he converted it into 5 flats. It must have been amazing when it was one house. Enormous. I think it is quite a small flat for 2 people. I mean, the living room and kitchen's all in one. So if one of us is in there, it does feel like that person's got the space. I do feel a little pushed out sometimes, especially since he got his girlfriend. Feels like I'm living with my parents. I mean, what would happen if I found someone? It would be a right squeeze. Just finished my shift. Thought I'd have a wander around the place. The whole Barbican estate, which the centre is part of, was now a Grade 2 listed building, and maybe it is a bit impersonal, but I quite like it. My first visit to the centre was with my school, when we came to see the Royal Shakespeare Company do Macbeth. That must have been about 1987, and well, there have been quite a few changes here since then. The RSC, who were the resident company here, well, they've now gone. The Balcony Bistro, well, that used to be called the Balcony Cafe. Before that, it was the staff canteen. Actually, during that time, that whole floor was called Level 6. A few years ago, they changed it to make things less confusing. It's now called Level 1. Just got home. She's in the living room with him. The TV's on. I can hear them laughing. I want to go in and cook. I haven't eaten. I don't want to be a gooseberry. Guess I'll stay in here, do a bit of reading. I love all that architectural language. This dwelling, of infinite possibilities, looks towards its informal setting. Textures incorporate light, which in turn mixes with the interior. A wide expanse of space presents a window, with its outdoor and time connection. This is a traditional structure, developing a taste for the complex and somewhat organic form. I decided to come to RIBA, the Royal Institute of British Architects, have a ground. They've got a library here which I wanted to use, but you have to pay. So I come to the cafe instead. It feels good to have gotten out of the flat. I couldn't really concentrate on architecture back there today. I don't know, I just kept thinking about my living room. I wouldn't mind repainting it. Actually, I did a bit of shopping in Oxford Street on the way here. I bought a beanbag. Half price and sale. I mean, there's only the sofa in there, and it is really difficult to share with my flatmate. I don't know, just too intimate. I always sit on the floor if he's around. Lido closes in a couple of weeks. I don't know how I'll cope without it. I mean, it's made things so much better in the flat. I haven't seen my flatmate in ages. Actually, I started looking at the 2 tower blocks over there while swimming earlier. Never really studied them before. I guess that they must have been built in the 60s, maybe the 70s, but they're very different to the Barbican towers, a sort of pinky colour. Don't seem to have much architectural merit. So I must admit, from here they don't look quite so bad. I mean, if this was the Costa del Sol, there'd be loads of architecture like that. The view from the top must be amazing. I looked on the internet today to see if I could get any information on the tower blocks opposite the Lido. I mean, yeah, part of me does think that they're quite ugly. And it must have been nicer before they were built. But, well, they're there now. I sort of feel like I need to get an understanding of them. Accept them for who they are. I don't know what I'll do tonight. I'd quite like to go home. I think his girlfriend's round. Sunday, I'm at work again. Don't normally work Sunday shifts, occasionally do. 2 hours, till I'm home again. Till then I'll surf the internet to see what I can find. A Belle and Sebastian CD, Sex and the City DVD, a Hip Hotels book, These are things I'm looking for. A cheap flight on Expedia to somewhere hot, it could be nice. But the only place I want to go right now is 4 miles south of here. It's home. 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 I'm at the top of one of the 2 tower blocks. I can't believe I'm here. I was just on my way back home and the impulse grabbed me. I've always wanted to see the view. I just thought I'd try the front door and it was open. Waited for a lift. Nothing happened. So I took the stairs to the 17th floor. It's just amazing. Might see if I can get into the other tower next door. See if the view's any different. A sculpted dimension of concrete rises from the existing city fabric. Windows punctuate the skin, its cladding mass dancing over a still frame. This vertical form provides fantastical solutions with minimal impact upon its geographical context. So modern, so progressive, it expresses a beauty with its manifestation of scale, a visual reflection of urban transformation. Just been doing a bit of reading. I came home and they were in the living room again. Anyway, it's all about how architects started thinking of homes as machines for living in. I love that idea. I took a break to go and cook something. They were watching TV. I wasn't going to say anything when she says, "What are you doing in your room?" I didn't know what to say. I mean, I don't have to tell her what I'm doing. Anyway, I said researching. And she says, "What for?" So I told her some of the things I'd just been reading about. And well, got into a really good discussion about modern versus older architecture. She said, "Well, if you like modern architecture so much, why are you living in a Victorian house?" I couldn't really answer that. Anyway, my flatmate didn't say anything. Just sat there, watching TV. She's much nicer than I thought she was. Parkview House and its twin, Herne Hill House, can be found in Herne Hill, London, SE24. Opened in 1968, 19 floors contain 72 flats. They are currently not open to the public.
Julian Fox Concrete Poetry was produced by Seb Barwell at Angel Eye for BBC Radio 4. It was written and performed by Julian Fox.